Yeah, hello to welcome to a new video. Another 15-minute game. Going to play e4. I think I'm not yet 100% awake here, so let's try with e4 to get me awake. E5. E5 is somewhat unusual in this position. Usually the move that's supposed to refute this is bishop b5. But maybe this is also an underestimated line. Okay, let's play this first. I still have the sound so loud. Okay, need to exchange.
Check.
And now knight to f5. I guess this should be the point here. Well, let's check quickly. Knight f5. What could be the idea from black's point of view? Maybe knight f6, knight c3, and then capture on e4. Something like this. Could be. Yeah, but okay, where else should I go? So let's go knight f5. All other squares don't make much sense. Okay, is there something else? Well, let's check quickly. Knight c3, then he takes on e4. Knight e4, queen takes f5. Okay, I could take d6 then. But this certainly is no huge advantage. Oh well, maybe it is good for white. Hard to say. Is there something else? Maybe f3, d5, and then bishop g5. If he takes on e4, then I take f6. This could be good for white. Okay, let's try this. Already clearly behind on the clock. Yeah. My idea was d5, then bishop g5. He takes on e4, I take on f6. Then he cannot take on f5 because queen d8 is checkmate. So he would need to recapture on f6 with the pawn, and then I get this tremendous knight on d5, on f5. And basically my idea here is to prevent him from playing d5 at all. Maybe even using the move c4, I'm not sure. One issue here is also, okay, he goes for d5. Okay, bishop g5 was the idea. Not sure if he has got something else. He could play d4, but still I would get this great knight on f5. Yeah, maybe it's possible for him to exchange it with knight c6, e7. Okay, but I'm pretty much obliged to do this now. No big choice. Yeah, of course, what I don't like is, in general, if I exchange on f6, okay, it damages its pawn structure considerably, but and I get this knight, okay, but well, the dark squares are a problem. I already played e4 and f3 especially, and this very much weakens the dark squares. So maybe he needs to go d4 now. Allows me to take on f6. Otherwise he would just lose a pawn, or d takes e4 is I think a terrible endgame for him. Well, maybe one possibility could be, let's say, takes on e4, I take on f6, g takes f. Yeah, I take on e4 myself, yeah. Yeah, I was just thinking if I take myself on d7, recaptures with the knight, and then maybe he's got knight c5 to get some counterplay against the e4 pawn, which is well isolated, not protected anymore by um, by pawn. Yeah, but this should be good for me. Yeah, he needs to play d4. I think not much else. What else could he try? He could try to just sacrifice the d5 pawn. Of course, he could do that. Queen to, I don't know, maybe queen to e6 or something. In order to recapture on f6 with the queen. If I take then on f6, queen takes d5. I cannot take with the pawn as f5 is hanging. So bishop f6, queen d5, and then maybe knight c6. Trying to get compensation with rook d8 to come, and maybe the dark squares. This is not so. Yeah, maybe this is possible. It's not completely insane or something. Still hard to imagine that you would play this, but yeah, maybe d4. D4 is maybe not so awful for black. Let's say I take on f6, g takes f, and how do I continue? Um, this pawn on d4 somewhat restricts my pieces. I don't have a good square for the b1 knight. Cannot go to c3 anymore, and maybe I would like to have this knight on d3 in this structure with him playing d5, d4, but this is a terribly long way. Yeah, it's basically impossible to get the knight there. Yeah, this isn't so bad, but he's thinking really hard, or he got disconnected. Huh? I'll try quickly to. Yeah, we both seem to be connected. Okay, it's understandable that this is an important decision here that he needs to make. But still, I think he doesn't has so many alternatives to either just sacrifice this pawn with something like queen e6. Queen e6 is designed to retake on f6 with a piece. So otherwise, okay, try something else. Yeah, I thought about this briefly as well. Yeah, yeah. The idea would be now if I take on f6, take on d5, then he would take on d5, ed, and knight to b4, and then d5 would be hanging as well at c3, c2, also with this fork threat. So this is certainly a viable option. Yeah, is there something better than taking on f6 here? In general, what I'd like to do is take on f6 and play knight c3, but he's got bishop b4, which is somewhat annoying. Otherwise, this would be very good for me. Okay, still, let's try to figure out the position after bishop f6 and queen d5. Bishop f6, gf, queen d5, e d5, knight b4. Then c2 is of course hanging. I don't have a really good way to protect this. Just well, knight a3, which looks somewhat ugly, of course. Let's say knight takes d5 then, and then knight c4. I'm not sure that I like this too much. Yeah, maybe knight c6 was a good move. It makes a fine impression. Okay, but still, let's see. Do I have something else really? Taking knight c3. Okay, this bishop b4 move. I could take then on d5, but it's also not that great. Okay, let's take here first. Knight e3 maybe, but I don't want to move this piece all so many times. And, idea would be to get it on d5, but then somehow my knight on b1 doesn't make any sense at all. Yeah, maybe this is completely okay for him. If I don't establish a pawn here, then okay. Let's think again. Let's think again here. Does he threaten anything really? So can I prepare maybe taking or something? I could just castle, for instance. I guess it's never really an idea. For him to take on e4. Castling maybe would threaten knight c3 in some way. Yeah, queen d5. This is just not so great. Yeah. The position after exchanging knight b4, knight a3, knight d5. I guess I have to play knight c4, and then I don't know. My knights don't have the position of the knights are not very stable somehow. Maybe I'm judging this wrong, but don't like it so much. Okay, let's castle first. Idea now is to play knight c3 next move, trying to get this piece to d5. Okay, he could of course play d4 now, but this was an option a couple of moves ago anyway, so yeah, this position is not so bad for black. d4 also. My knight on b1 is really terrible after d4. It doesn't have really a good a good route to decent square. Let's say knight. Okay. Interesting. Didn't really expect this one, but isn't necessarily bad or something. Knight c3 now. If he takes on e4, then exchange on d7, and could even recapture with the knight then. But if I recapture with the pawn, he might have rook d2, which could be an annoying move. Queen takes d5 in this position. Certainly somewhat better compared to before, but okay, I need to speed up down somewhat on the clock. Now d4, knight d5 should just be fine for me. Oh, maybe even that is not so clear. Queen e6 or something. Okay, but d takes e4 is now the most logical, or maybe the check first. Not sure, but d takes e4. Yeah, he needs to stay really active here with this the destroyed pawn formation on the king side. He needs to play active moves. Maybe d takes d4, trying to get something on d2. Let's say d4, queen takes d7, rook takes d7, and f takes e4. He might just play rook d2. I cannot really go rook f2 because of bishop c5, so I cannot easily get rid of this rook. And he might come up with rook g8 and bishop c5 check and so on, getting some play on the g file. But first and foremost, after rook d2 in this line, I need to cover c2 somewhere, and I don't see how. So maybe after d takes e4, I could try to exchange on d7, and then after rook takes, capture on e4 with the knight, which maybe is the more solid option here, because d2 is just covered, and still my structure is somewhat better. Yeah, okay, this wasn't yeah, need to go here. Where else should I go? Only issue now could be motives like rook takes d5 and queen takes f5, so okay, not possible now, but in general this knights could also be a liability sometimes. But okay, first yes, they are nicely positioned there, of course. Yeah, but it's not a threat yet. So because c6 is also hanging. The interesting question here is how to continue. He might just try to take on d5, ed5, queen d5. Maybe this is yeah, maybe this is even an idea. What I'm asking myself is what about the move c4 in this position, trying to really cement these pieces. If he takes en passant, I would just recapture with the pawn, and then I might use the b file to get something against his king. It would also once more overprotect d5, so that this kind of sacrifices shouldn't work. Yeah, a very interesting game. Yeah, still I like this. Yeah, it gives him this pass pawn, but I'm not sure. The two knights are really great, and I should have options of pushing my pawns here. And this pawn isn't so dangerous. Okay, let's go there. If he takes on c3 now, b takes c3, and rook d5 I can capture with the queen, so he cannot loosen the grip of the knights with an exchange sacrifice so easily. Maybe you should take and give this check on c5, win a tempo, and then proceed from there. I would then try to get play on the b file, like rook b1, queen f4, and so on. I really think he needs to take on c3. This protected pass pawn on d4 maybe looks nice at first sight. Yeah, he agrees that he needs to take. But I guess he needs to open up the position here. And it's questionable if my b file play is so great. Oh, I'm even ahead on the clock. Happens rarely enough. But it's been a really complicated battle here, so it's very understandable that he took some time. Well, what's nice here that Black doesn't have too much play on his own. Ah, okay. He now yeah, I don't think this will hurt me too much to exchange one piece here. The question is what knight should take. If I take with the f5 knight, bishop recaptures, then he maybe has got this idea of f5, but this doesn't yeah, he can play f5. If he takes e4, I still have the f pawn to recapture, and then the rook would prevent a further f5. I capture with the d5 knight, he captures with the bishop, then queen b3. It should also be somewhat better for me. Looks like the more technical solution, but I like the d5 knight really. It's, but it both was looking fine. So well, f5 doesn't irritate me too much. Okay, let's try to get something on the b file now. I'm not sure how to proceed. This should threaten queen c4 and also sort of overprotect e4, d5 and so on. And next move could be also rook b5, rook b1 and so on. Yeah, now's the time to speed up a bit here. I'm down to 2:40 and he's even below 2 minutes, but he keeps investing lots of time. Oh, this is getting critical clockwise. I really hope he just doesn't let the time run down and let me win on time. So it's still not entirely clear. I think white should be much better, but it's still a fighting position. Okay, let's go here. Not sure how he protects this now. Yeah, this it looks somewhat shaky, huh? But there's no direct refutation, I think. Rook b5 maybe. Attack this piece. If we retreat somewhere. Queen b3. Yeah, well, let's play a bit faster here. Well, he needs to retreat. b6 is answered with knight e7 winning the queen. So he needs to go bishop d6 or something. Yeah, well, bishop d6 looks like the only move. Yeah, he just fails to move. Okay. But now knight e7, yeah.
Check.
Yeah, he just completely broke down with the time getting down. It was a very interesting positional fight, and not clear at all. I think so.
Black resigns.
Yeah, he did quite a good job defending this position, I think. Let's quickly recap this game. Yeah, this was the first critical position. I quickly yeah, the computer actually wants to take on e4, and it's a stockfish engine. I don't yet have Houdini installed. I'm just lazy. But well, stockfish assesses d takes e4 this kind of position as 0, 0, 0, and this is just nonsense. This is just clearly better for white. It's I don't really care what the engine is saying. In this kind of position, white is just clearly better. It's really wrong assessment. Knight c6. Yeah, the engine now wants to take on f6 and play knight c3. I thought about this briefly. Knight c3, bishop b4, and then take on d5, but I didn't like the structure here. Maybe it is better for white. But okay, let's play on here. Yeah, now it gives white one pawn advantage. Yeah, I guess this is about the correct assessment. It wants to take on e4 now. This is just difficult. Yeah, this is rather typical. It's very interesting to check here the computer suggestions, because it's some moves are completely inhumane. He just wants to play a3 here, and well, you simply don't play this way, because a3 black can take on d5, ed5, queen d5, and he gets one pawn for the exchange, and breaks down the control here that white has in this position of both the d5 and the f5 square. And this is ridiculous. You don't allow rook takes d5 if you don't really need to. On a3 it wants to play rook g8 and then sacrifice the exchange. It assesses the position as somewhat better for white, which is maybe true, but still, these knights are just too good to allow them to be broken up with an exchange sack. So c4 is, I think, a good move, keeping keeping the knights safe there. And yeah, computer here doesn't want to take on c3 en passant, playing king b8, but then a3, b4, and so on. White should be much better then.
Check. Check.
Yeah, comp here plays queen b3. Yeah, this is better, even threatening on b7 first and then queen c4. But white is better here, no question. But of course, what he also completely failed to just make moves. He just at some point you just need to move. Okay, and here he blundered his queen. Very interesting struggle here. I think he defended well. First off, maybe here in this position he shouldn't castle, but play d4. Here d4, preventing my knight from getting a good square. And I'm not quite sure what I should do there, because where does this knight go? It would have a good position on d3, maybe, the b1 knight, but this is a ridiculously long way, like d2, b3, c1, d3. This is terribly slow, and in the meantime he can easily challenge the f5 knight with knight e7. This is perfectly okay, I think, for black. It's not at all a problem. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. I'm not sure, but concerning the opening, I don't really know this. So
check.
is there some other issue here? Shouldn't I go to f5 maybe in order to somehow refute this? Maybe just knight e2. Well, knight c3 here, he can really take on e4. Maybe this is some really weird stuff. Maybe the issue here is knight c3. Knight takes e4, knight takes g7 check, bishop g7, knight takes e4, d5, bishop h6, something like this. This could be the problem. This is a known motive in this kind of setup. I'm not sure. I'd really need to learn how to examine here to play some moves. I'm not sure how to do this really. Let's try quickly. Maybe I can figure this out.
Check. Check.
What I was, yeah, at least I can do this. What I was thinking about is this here. Capture
Check.
here. E4. And if he wants to get rid of the knight now, I have this nice shot. This is a known idea. For instance, in the Karras attack of the Scheveningen, where white has the extra move g4 and a6 would be the extra moves here, but here didn't have g4 played. For instance, takes here. But no idea. Is this a refutation? Hard to believe. Yeah, okay. I can analyze this all day. Yeah, thanks for watching. I think it was a really a nice game with good content. And well, stay tuned. I'll do 1 or 2 more videos today.